Try this with a 3-point deck.
Down in the dirt. Been real bad.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Ariens has quietly rebuilt their zero-turn mower line over the last 3 years or so. So this year now they have 4 models of zero turns. They have the Zenith, which is a commercial grade homeowner zero turn. They have the Apex, which is a heavy duty larger acreage zero turn. They have the Icon XD, which is a good heavy duty zero turn for most people that have 1 to 5 acres of lawn to mow. And then they also came out with the Edge line. The Edge is designed to be a homeowner's first zero turn. It's very simple to use, very easy to work on, and it's built very well. It's priced right with the other inexpensive zero turns, but as we go through it, I'm going to show you some things that make this a very good value for the money. The Edge is available with 3 different engines and 3 different deck sizes. It's offered in a 34-inch with a Briggs or Kohler engine on it. It's offered in a 42-inch with a Briggs or Kohler engine on it. Then it's offered in a 52-inch with, I think, the Kawasaki engine on it. So we're going to take a look at the 42 today. Start with the front wheels. Front wheels are 4 inches by 10. They're a nice tall wheel. They don't need to be really wide on this mower because it's not a heavy mower. In other words, there's not a lot of front end weight on this, so you won't have any problems with it sinking into softer soils. It is a greasable axle, smooth tire, so it doesn't scuff. Then the front fork is fairly unique on this one. A couple little cute cutouts here to make it look pretty. And you can see the thickness of the metal. The metal's pretty much 1/4 inch. This is a 1/2 inch dowel rod. And they welded this gusset in here to give it lots of strength. So you won't have to worry about this caster bending or breaking over years. A lot of them have a habit of breaking up in here on the inexpensive machines, or they'll bend and bow on you. Sealed ball bearings up here, so you never have to worry about greasing this. It's a solid caster for this machine. So, continuing on with the front here, it does have a front bumper on it. It may not look like much of a bumper, but it's actually a practical little bumper. Underneath is the front axle, and the front axle is gusseted so it's nice and strong. And then this front bumper wraps over the top of it. So that way if you do hit something hard, you're going to dent this without doing damage to the front axle itself. So that's kind of a nice little feature. This is not a step as much as it is just a cutout for when you're getting off the machine. One of the easiest ways to get off a machine is to just stand up and walk off the top. Well, this grip right here allows you to step on this and have the traction without slipping and sliding. I can't tell you how many times I've done that over the years with older zero-turn mowers. That's about it on the front. We'll talk about the deck hanger here later on in the video. I'm going to talk about the deck as we go along, and then eventually we're going to raise the front end up and we're going to take a look at underneath it. But to start out with here, here's that welded gusset that I was talking about. This braces up the front tube axle and the side frame. The side frame is a channel, and it's about a 3-inch channel here. So it's strong. On homeowner machines, you don't have to have really strong 2-inch or 3-inch square tubing here. These channels with the 3-inch drop on it and the nice rounded top on them, they're going to hold up for you. You're never going to have to worry about any frame cracking. It also helps reduce the weight, so this machine doesn't tear up your normal suburban lawn as much as the big ones do. You'll find that this zero turn won't leave ruts in your lawn the way some of the commercial machines will do. All right, while I'm here, let's talk about the deck just a little bit. The deck is an 11 gauge deck. To give you a frame of reference, a entry-level commercial mower deck is 10 gauge. This is 11 gauge, so there's only a couple thousandths difference in the metal thickness. Plus, this has a 1/4-inch wraparound skirt on it to make it nice and strong. So you'll be able to hit stuff with this and not have to worry about denting the deck at all. Comparatively, stamp decks are typically 13 or 14 gauge, so this is considerably stronger than the stamp decks. One feature that I really like about this deck is this edge right here, this rounded edge. I really don't know why more companies are not putting a rounded edge on a residential mower. What this does is if you accidentally get too close to your chain link fence or an edge, your foundation or something like that, it won't get caught in the fence. There's nothing more irritating than to have a idler wheel setting here or to have a square edge and try to mow along a chain link fence and have it get caught as you're mowing along. So that's one feature I really like about this mower, is this rounded edge. Also, this deck is very easy to take on and off. There are 6 of these clips. One here, one in the back, on the other side, and then 2 up front. All I have to do is pull those clips and the deck comes right off. So it's real easy to take on and off the machine. In addition, this deck is very easy to adjust and adjust the height on it to what we call trimming the deck, to make sure that the front end is just a hair lower than the back end so everything cuts nice and evenly. That adjustment is very easy to make here on all 4 corners, so it's very easy to level the deck. All right, we'll come back to the deck as we move around. I'll show you the top of the lap bars or the handles in a little bit, but I wanted to show you a couple things on how they are so easy to adjust. There's 2 nuts here that you loosen. You can raise the handle up and down, and you can move it back and forth so that short people, tall people, fat people like me can all use this machine. It's fully adjustable, nice big bolts so you can lock it down tight so it won't slip after you tighten it. Also, there's an adjustment here, and you can't quite see it but there's an adjustment here so that you can adjust the handle in and out. So if you're a person who tends to have your arms out further than most people, you can adjust the handles out so that it's still comfortable. And then finally, both sides have track adjustments. As you're probably aware, zero turns use 2 separate transmissions, and over time, one will wear differently than the other. So you'll get to a point where one lever will go further forward than the other lever, and these are very easy to adjust here so you can even your levers back up again. Let's move down. All right, very simple linkages for the controls. It's all right out here so you can see if anything is broke or anything is wearing out over the years. Here's your handle coming down from the lap bar. This rod goes right directly over to the transmission. Here's that hydraulic strut or dampener. Those dampeners allow you to drive the machine smoothly without jerking and bucking and all that type of stuff. Plus it allows you to push on the handles and get going the speed you want, and then kind of relax your arms so you're not sitting there holding tension on your arms all the time. Makes for a much more comfortable ride. And I believe this is the parking brake down here, this other rod. Gas tank is inside the unit instead of up on the fender, so it is a low center of gravity fuel tank. Gas tank is right out here, and if you spill, it runs right off the machine, doesn't get down inside. Here's a little better look at the handle. Nice overmold grip. Comes all the way down here to the sides. So you got plenty of room, plenty of places to put your hand. It's a good foam. It gives you some cushion, and it's not going to wear and crack and fall off after 2 years like some of the other ones. All right, let's move around a little more. I didn't know if I was going to like this seat first, but after sitting on it for a little bit, I do like it. I like the rounded part right here. I also like the cushioning on it. It's got quite a bit of cushioning. I like the big drain hole in the middle of it, so you can leave it set outside and it can get wet and the water will run off of it instead of into the seams. It is got a nice molded back to it. It's not metal, so it's not going to rust over time. I want to show you one little feature that it's pretty unique to this mower. If you notice, there's no cable or anything that's holding this seat pan when you flip it forward. If you're familiar with cables and seats and you've had zero turns for a while, you know that slamming the seat over all the time, eventually that cable is going to break on you. What Ariens has done here is they've put a metal, big heavy duty stabilized washer here, so that when you tip it over, the frame, the seat pan, sets on this instead. That's going to last quite a bit longer than the cable over the years. This, by the way, is your safety switch for your seat, your operator presence switch. You can adjust it easily. 2 knobs on this one. Slide it forward and back. Let's take a look inside here while we got it open. Ariens has gotten away from that cheap lead acid lawn and garden battery, and they've gone with a sealed, it's still sealed, it's still lead acid, but they've gone with a sealed battery. It's a higher quality battery. If you notice, the terminals are here on the end instead of one on each corner like your normal batteries. It does look like there's enough cable that if you ever want to go with a regular battery, because a regular battery is only 30 bucks, you can go with that. But this battery is going to last you a lot longer than those lawn and garden batteries. I don't know about you, but I can't seem to get more than 2 years out of one of those lawn and garden batteries nowadays. So I expect this one to last 4 or 5 years. There is a plate down in here, but the plate is open on the back. So if you get grass and buildup down in here, it's easy to clean out. You just hit your leaf blower down through here and it'll blow out. 2-gallon gas tank. And like I said, it's down underneath the seat, so it gives you a little better center of gravity. This is a lightweight machine, so those little things like that do make a difference as far as running on hills. It has 2 heavy springs for the cushioning, and they're about 3 inches tall. I've driven this around the yard for a while and played with it. I haven't mowed with it, but I played with it. And I can't say that this rides rough at all. In fact, this rides pretty nice. There's another reason why it rides nice, which I'll get to in a minute. So your gas line is real easy to see. You can just look on the side of the mower to see how much gas is in it, or flip the seat up to see how much gas is in it. Fuel filter is real easy to get to. No extra switches or anything like that. This uses a mechanical parking brake, so it works, or it just works. You don't have to worry about having power to the machine to get it to move or anything like that. Feel free to ask any more questions underneath the seat. One of the unique features about this Ariens EDGE that I like a lot, and particularly since it's an entry-level machine, is the 20-inch tall tires on the back. This lightweight machine, these large tires, it rides well and it has a lot better traction than the other mowers with the smaller tires. I know 18, 20 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but with this tall tire, nice wide tire, nice flat tire, you have plenty of traction and it turns well. It doesn't tear up your lawn. And one thing I really like about this machine is that you can go down a slope and then back up and turn around on the slope. There's so many of these residential zero-turn mowers out there that they don't have a lot of traction when you go to back up and turn on a slope. This one has no problems at all. I was really, really surprised at how well it does. Or a better way to say it is I was really impressed with the traction that this has. Plus with this wider tire, taller tire, and the lightweight of the machine, you're going to be able to mow your good suburban lawn and not have to worry about leaving tracks and grooves over time. Looking under the machine in the back, there's a nice guard here for the muffler. So if you've got tall grass or if your machine's sitting in tall grass, that'll protect the grass from getting too hot from the muffler. All of these machines have the muffler down here underneath the machine, but this guard here is going to be nice. Also, there's no holes in this, so the exhaust comes out the side. The exhaust doesn't come straight down and start your dry grass on fire either. Ariens uses the ZT2200 drives on this machine. That's the right size drive for this. The ZT2200 or EZT drives they're a good drive. When sized properly to the machine, these transmissions will last a long time. And these are. So this is a nice lightweight machine, and it's a fairly heavy transmission for this size machine. Some of the other manufacturers have gone to a lighter duty transmission in this size, but Ariens is sticking with the tried and true here. If you ever want to take your deck off, this is the pulley that the deck belt comes off of. Taking the deck off is a pretty fast process. You can easily do it in less than 10 minutes. One of the first steps you do is to remove the tension on the belt up at the deck. And then once you get that done, you can come back here and the belt just drops right off of this pulley for you. It's also very easy to put on. It's a deep pulley, so it'll stay there when you go to put the belts back on the machine. Just so you know, Ariens lawnmowers do not come with a rear hitch. It's real easy to put on, just 2 bolts right here. Rear hitch, I think, are about $39-ish. That's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing about that is if you're new to using a zero turn and you've got a hitch on the back, I can guarantee you're going to hit something, like a tree, gouge a tree, get caught in your chain link fence, your picket fence, that type of stuff. So without the hitch there, you don't damage your landscaping. After you do get some experience and you want to pull a cart or an aerator or a sweeper, something like that, then you can put the hitch on. Ariens also puts a wraparound frame or bumper around the top of the machine up here. A lot of the stuff that you're going to back into, like a tree or so, starts to get wider as it gets taller. So this helps to protect the engine from any type of damage. Yeah, some people don't like the looks of this little bumper back here, but it does make the back end look a little nicer. I'd rather see that than a full hood over the top of them like they used to put on them. Nice little styling, but yet it protects the engine from getting hit. All right, let's talk about engines. Ariens has 3 different engines available on the Edge. It has a Briggs and Stratton 20 horse V-twin Intech series. It has the Kohler 19 horse V-twin 6000 series, and then on the 52-inch deck they also put a Kawasaki FR651 V-twin on it. The Kawasaki, I think, is 23 horse, so what you need for the larger deck. If you go to Lowe's, you're probably going to see this mower with the Briggs and Stratton engines on it, mainly because you can buy the Briggs for $50 less than you can buy the Kohler. But if you go to a dealer and buy it, most of the time you're going to find they're going to offer the Kohler. Personally, I don't have a big preference between the Briggs Intech and the Kohler 6000. So over the years, I've had very good luck with Kohler engines. The 7000 series, one of the best ones that they've ever made. The 6000 is just a smaller engine block. Uses a 600 and some odd cc engine block. So for the 660 cc engine block instead of the 750. So we've had real good luck with it. The Briggs and Stratton, over the years, the people who have bought Briggs at today's mower have not had as good a luck with the Intech as they have with the Kohler. Understand that there are different styles of Briggs engines. The Intech is their economy version. Then the Intech Plus has more oil porting inside of it. That's a decent engine, and then that's also called the Husqvarna Endurance engine. If I have a choice, I would buy the Kohler myself. They're economical engines. Yes, this only has a 2-gallon gas tank on it, but you're not going to notice that. The fuel economy on these is very good. You'll like that. Let's move around the engine just a little bit, take a look at a couple of things. All right, let's finish up on the engine here. Oil filter is easy to get at. Oil drain is easy to get at, but it's a conventional, you can't really see it down there, but it's a conventional style twist drain. In your manual pouch, there is a clear plastic tube that you can hook up to the drain so that you can get the oil away from the transmission down there, so you can drain it into a pan if you want to. There are not too many engines today that have a quick and easy oil change to them. One of the main reasons why is because if you take this to a dealer and have them do it, they don't drain it out that bottom anymore. They just take this out and stick a suction line down in it and vacuum the oil out. That way it's a closed loop system, so they don't have any oil spillage or anything like that. Of course, fuel filter right here, we talked about that a little while ago. Real easy to change. So to get at this stuff, all you have to do is flip your seat up and it's all right there, real easy to get a hold of. All right, it won't be too much longer and we'll be done. Take a look at the console. What do you see? An hour meter. Hour meter is built right into this machine. So even though this is an inexpensive machine, it comes with an hour meter built right in. So if you buy another brand, you get a Hitch, but you have to spend $65 or more on an hour meter. With this one, the hour meter comes standard, and you only have to spend $30 or so on the Hitch. So 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. So choke, throttle, electric clutch for the deck, no mechanical levers or anything like that on this machine, and then your ignition switch. So it's a nice, simple little console here, easy to work with. It doesn't take you long to get used to. Don't even have to look at it. You can do it by feel. One last thing on the mower before we finish up on the deck. This uses a mechanical brake, and it has to be in park for the engine to start. Once you start your engine, just push this down and you're off and ready to go. One thing I do like about this is where it's at. It's off to the side, so it's out of your way, but it's easy. You can reach down and grab it and pull it up very easily. I like that a lot. There's a lot of these where the handle is way down here on the bottom, and that's really hard for me to get a hold of. I almost have to get off of the machine. Getting too old and stiff for that type of stuff. So, you know, the other method is the electric ones, where all you do is open the handles and it automatically sets the brake for you. That's nice too. It's convenient, but when those brakes go bad, that's $150 you got to spend. With this, it's real simple. It just works. Okay, now let's get this deck taken care of. I'm just going to leave that discharge chute deflector up for a little while. To set the height on this, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is put your foot here, press on it, and then set this height where you want it, and let go. One thing I do like about it is it's accurate. 4 inches on the height adjuster is 4 inches on the blades. That's one of the first things I check to make sure that works. So you can go from 1.5 inches up to 4.5 inches, which is nice for your short southern grasses, for your long southern grasses, and for all your cool season grasses up here. As you can see, it's really easy. I can do it with my hand. There's no springs or anything on this. It's all gravity, but the deck is heavy enough that it stays in place, and once you lock this in here, it's going to stay solid. Even if the deck is rattling, this is going to stay put where it belongs. Another little feature that you don't normally see is the back side of this foot peak. There's a little rubber pad here, so if you push down too hard, this pedal doesn't scratch your fender. It protects it a little bit. Just little things. If you watch my video on the Toro time cutter, you see that they have a cutout for to put the bagger on. Well, the Ariens does too, but there's a plate that goes in place here when the bagger is not in place. So you don't have to mess with this spring for the discharge. All you have to do is unbolt these 4 bolts, put the boot on for the bagger, and you're good to go. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. This is nice because now there's a nice straight edge here. So when you're trimming, it doesn't feel like the grass wants to come up and blow in your face as easily. Let's take a look at the top of the deck. Okay, there are the hangers. There's 4 of those that are welded right to the top of the deck. I looked at the welds on these, and these are fully welded. There's no spot welds or anything like that. So I don't expect this deck to break like we're having with some of the other brands right now. Having a few problems with deck hangers breaking off the decks. So I don't expect that to happen here. These look like very good welds. This piece here is the deck, I don't know what they call it, deck strut. That keeps the deck from wobbling around side to side, and it also keeps the proper tensioning on the deck belts itself. We talked about taking this deck off. You had to take the 4 clips on the outside, and then there's 2 clips here, one up on the top and one up on the bottom that you remove, and then the deck just comes right off of the machine. So it's really easy, real simple to do. One thing I do like that Ariens has done this year is all that routine maintenance that you do on a machine, like take the deck off, for example. They've made videos of that. So all you have to do is go to the YouTube Ariens channel, and you can see videos of how to take the deck off, how to change the belt, how to change the transmission belt, how to change the oil, how to change the air cleaner and the gas line filter, all that type of stuff. The videos are good. Aaron from Ariens, he does a very good job at that. All right, if you look back down through there, you can see that the belt is lined pretty nice. I have the deck all the way down on the 1.5 inches, but if I bring it up to the 3 and 4 inches, the deck is, but when I bring it up to the 3 or 4 inch level and look down through there, the belt is perfectly parallel to the deck and to the frame. All right, what else do I need to cover? All right, see that rod up in there that looks rusty? That's just a support rod for the deck hangers, and that doesn't it doesn't matter if that patinas over the years and turns a nice brown color. If you look also right there on the right hand side, you can see that brass bushing. Those are oil-free brass bushings, so you don't need to lubricate them. And there's 4 of them that help hold the deck up. So it just gives you a spot there that won't wear over the years. Well, let's finish up by taking a look underneath the deck. All right, like I said, this deck is 11 gauge, so it's a nice strong deck. In addition, they put this wear strip on the end here, and this wear strip is pretty close to a 1/4 inch strip. So you're not going to have any problems with this deck being bent. Up here, this is that piece that I talked about that you take out when you want to put a bagger in. Otherwise, it's completely smooth all the way through there. It does have baffles back here in the back to help get the grass cut and then get it back out again. And again, I like the back side. I like the curved side back there because I think the grass comes out of the decks better. Blade spindles. These are sealed blade spindles, so you don't have to worry about greasing them or remembering to grease them and have them go bad on you. There is double thickness plates on the spindles, so everything is nice and strong up in there. You're not going to get any deck warping or funny noises because the deck wants to do a harmonic on you. That extra reinforcement in there goes a long way to making these decks strong. It has that flap here to help the grass come out, but then it has an extra piece, and that extra piece also catches the grass so it doesn't have to go back around into the deck again. So it's going to cut well, and it's going to get rid of the grass very well. This deck does have a optional mulch kit for it, and it's a bolt-in kit. So it encompasses each individual blade, so you get your best mulching that way. They also come with a set of blades that mulch well. One last thing that I really like about this deck is how deep it is. This is a full 4-inch deck here, so you got plenty of airflow up above the blades, so the grass will lift well, has good vacuum, and once the grass is cut, there's plenty of room for it to get moving and get out of the deck. So deeper the deck, usually the better they cut. And it's really good to see this deep of a deck on this price range mower. Finally, the discharge chute is a poly, which is pretty common for this price range of mowers. It's not rubber, but it's a good flexible poly. It's going to hold up. It's not going to crack over years, I don't think. All right, somebody is going to ask me this question, and I'm leaving it till last just to see if anybody listens all the way through to the end of the tape. This deck is missing something that you see on just about all the other decks out there. What is it? Does not have any gauge wheels on it, front or back. So why doesn't it have gauge wheels? Well, it doesn't need it. And it's a very simple answer as to why it doesn't need it. The main reason is this is a short mower, so there's very little room between the front caster and the deck, and the same way back here between the rear wheel and the deck. There's plenty of room so that you don't get mud caught and get everything all bound up, but in other words, there's plenty of clearance that way, but it's short enough so that the front caster takes care of any obstructions, gets the deck over any obstructions that you might have, and also the same way with the rear wheels. So this particular deck does not need gauge wheels on it. Right, so that's it. This is the Ariens EDGE 42 Kohler engine, 11 gauge fabricated deck. Tell me what you think. For the money, I think this is a very good mower. In fact, I think for the money, it's one of the best mowers on the market. In fact, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a mower, but want a good quality machine, if this is your first machine and you want one that's easy to use, easy to work on, and cuts very well, this is a great machine. One of the nice advantages about this mower is Ariens has put all of the videos on YouTube so that you don't have to take it back to the dealer and have them do all the work on it. As you can see, with a few simple hand tools, you can do most of the work on this machine all by yourself. Ariens does support this machine very well. Even if you buy this at Lowe's, your local Ariens dealer will take care of you. Of course, I'm always the type of guy who says support your local dealer before you support the big box store, but you know what I'm saying. So you don't have to worry about buying an Ariens at Lowe's and then not being able to find anybody to work on it. It's one of the big advantages of buying an Ariens, let alone I like the quality of this machine, and I like the workmanship of it, and I like where the company is headed. So finally, I'm going to do a mowing video here in about 3 or 4 days. I just cut my lawn 2 hours before this mower showed up yesterday, so we'll let the grass grow a little bit, and we'll get some mowing videos out. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, please like it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Down in the dirt.